What if the moon disappeared? Imagine waking up one day, looking up at the night sky, and realizing the moon is gone. No warning, no explosion, no trace. Just an empty, starry void where our familiar lunar companion used to be. At first, it might not seem like a big deal. After all, it's just a giant rock orbiting Earth, right? Well, not exactly. The moon does way more than just light up the night sky. Without it, life on Earth would change dramatically, and not for the better. The tides go crazy or practically disappear. One of the first and most immediate effects would be on our oceans. The moon's gravitational pull is what creates the tides, pulling the water back and forth as Earth rotates. Without the moon, tides would shrink to about 1/3 of their current size, driven only by the sun's weaker pull. This might sound like a minor inconvenience, but it would completely disrupt marine ecosystems. Many coastal species depend on tidal patterns for feeding and reproduction. Without them, entire food chains could collapse. Earth starts wobbling like a drunk spinning top. Right now, the moon helps stabilize Earth's rotation, keeping our planet tilted at a steady 23.5-degree angle. This tilt is what gives us seasons. Without the moon acting as a stabilizer, Earth's axis could start shifting wildly over time. Sometimes we might tilt so much that we barely get any sunlight at the poles, while at other times the equator could become an icy wasteland. Imagine a world where summer and winter last for decades, or where one year it's freezing and the next it's unbearably hot. This kind of instability would make long-term survival much harder for humans and animals alike. The nights get way darker. The moon doesn't just light up the sky, it reflects sunlight, making our nights much brighter than they would be otherwise. Without it, nighttime on Earth would be pitch black, especially in rural areas far from city lights. The stars would be clearer, sure, but moving around at night would be a lot more difficult for both humans and nocturnal animals. Many species rely on moonlight for navigation and hunting. Without it, their behavior and survival rates would change dramatically. Wild weather and megastorms. Remember how the moon affects Earth's tilt? Well, without it, climate patterns would become way more extreme. With Earth's axis shifting unpredictably, some places might experience never-ending rain, while others turn into scorching deserts. Massive storms could become the norm, with unpredictable weather making agriculture and human civilization much harder to sustain. The clock of life might change. Many animals, especially marine life, use the moon cycle to regulate behaviors like migration, reproduction, and hunting. Without a lunar cycle, these patterns could get completely thrown off, leading to declining populations and food shortages. Even humans might feel the effects. Our internal clocks and sleep cycles are subtly influenced by lunar phases. Without the moon, who knows how our bodies would adapt? No more moon landings, no lunar colonies, no sci-fi dreams. The moon has always been humanity's first step into the cosmos. Without it, space exploration might have looked completely different. No Apollo missions, no one small step for man, and no dreams of lunar bases as a stepping stone to Mars. The moon has been our closest celestial neighbor and a major inspiration for scientists, astronomers, and storytellers alike. Without it, our journey into space might have been delayed by decades, or never taken off at all. Would we even exist without the moon? Here's a crazy thought. If the moon had never been there in the first place, life on Earth might not have even evolved the way it did. Scientists believe the moon was formed when a Mars-sized planet smashed into Earth billions of years ago, throwing debris into orbit. That collision might have helped create conditions for life to emerge. If the moon had never been there, Earth might have been a very different, possibly lifeless place. The final verdict: we need the moon. So, while losing the moon wouldn't mean instant doom, it would trigger a slow-motion disaster over time. Our climate, ecosystems, and way of life would be thrown into chaos. The moon is way more than just a pretty light in the sky. It's a key part of what makes Earth a stable, habitable planet. So next time you see the moon shining down, take a moment to appreciate it, because without it, life on Earth would be a whole lot different and a lot less predictable. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more fascinating stories about history's greatest figures and events.